Croeso. Welcome to Cottage in Wales. This isn't the video my daughter Daisy and I had planned to make, but it has been a hectic couple of weeks for us, so we thought we would take you with us on the journey we had to make. My daughter Daisy and I try to live in tune with the seasons and as close to nature as possible. In addition, we feel drawn to living in sync with the phases of the moon. That might seem a little or even a lot strange or kooky to some of you, but we find it to be a beautiful way of adding an extra sprinkle of magic to our everyday lives. Adding a magical dimension stops me from feeling overwhelmed by the daily, mundane stresses that we can all feel. If you feel part of something big and more beautiful and enchanting than yourself, it can bring much needed perspective in today's troubling world. Those of you that watched our last video will know that I release videos every new and full moon. Today is the August new moon. The new and full moons of the last few months have been very challenging, but luckily there are no negative planetary aspects affecting this new moon. Today's new moon is in the sign of Leo. Leo is the sign of confidence, strength, and creative energy and expression. The new moon in Leo is a time to celebrate life. The sun is strongest in its home sign of Leo, so with the moon also in Leo, our inner sense of self-worth can soar. There are still going to be limitations and blocks that will come up during the rest of the year, but the Leo moon asks us to stay positive. This is a time for action and the last opportunity we have before November this year. Have a can-do attitude. Let your needs and desires spur you on to create the change in your life you deserve. As I said, I am aware some of you will think I'm strange for my beliefs or the way I live my life. But the moon is a very powerful luminary that affects all the water on this planet. We are made up of mostly water, so to me it makes sense that the moon would have some sort of influence on us. We also garden by the phases of the moon, which I will share with you in more detail in the spring. This is our local community garden in our nearest town. It's a beautiful, calm and restful place, which is very wildlife friendly. There are some edible areas in the garden, but it's mainly a wildlife haven. We're very lucky though that in addition to this garden, around the corner there's an edible garden for the whole community, so anybody that needs to can help themselves or wants to can help themselves to fruit and vegetables that are growing. And they also have community edible gardens outside the local supermarket, the library and the leisure centre, so anybody can go and help themselves to fresh fruit and vegetables. And there are also 2 community orchards in the town, so it's a very beautiful place. The yellow flower that you can see here is called tansy, and certainly in Wales it was always used as a herb that you would hang up in your cottage from the beams, and it's supposed to ward off flies and other insects coming into your house. I've recently come across a headache salve recipe that I thought I'd like to share with you. Normally I just rub peppermint essential oil on my temples, but I've decided that it would be nice to give this salve a try. It's a peppermint and pine headache salve. For it you'll need to dry some mint leaves and some pine needles. You need 2 tablespoons of dried mint leaves and 2 tablespoons of dried pine needles. You put them in a jar with 2/3 of a cup of oil. I've been using almond oil. You then put that in a cool, dark place for 4 to 6 weeks and shake it daily to let it infuse. After that, strain the mix and put the infused oil in a bowl over a pan of boiling water. Add to that 1/2 ounce of a wax suitable for cosmetics. Because we're vegan, we use candelilla wax for such things. Once the wax has melted completely into the oil, let it cool a little and then add 30 to 40 drops of peppermint oil and immediately pour into a jar before it sets. Let me know if you try it. The purpose of our videos is not to show an airbrushed, perfect world that makes people feel dissatisfied with their own lives. In fact, we couldn't even if we tried. We record our videos on Daisy's old phone. We don't own a tripod, a drone, or any fancy editing equipment. Our cottage is very old with low beam ceilings, so it's dark and will be dark when we film indoors. Our videos will not be sleek and professional. The purpose of our videos is to encourage people to look out for the beauty in their own lives. Whether it be a handmade mug that feels wonderful to wrap your hands around, a butterfly on a flower, or the wind in the trees. Look for the beauty in your own lives, and you will surely start to find it. Bright blessings.